the lifestyle just seems totally different. I mean, it's nothing like this.
Correct.
You know, even to get into the best institutions in the United States, which is, from what I've heard, you know, that's pretty good. I mean, that's like the best in the world.
Correct.
Namaste.
Hey guys, welcome back to Reactophile.
I am Carl.
And I'm Hadur.
Today we're going to be reacting to the Quint's documentary, Why Kota Kills. What is Kota?
Kota is a place in Rajasthan where all the students, like majority of the students who are preparing for IIT JEE exams, go there for tuition classes, and they get themselves prepared for the Ivy League of India, that is IITs.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, we have similar things here. Yeah. All right.
Yep. So let's get started.
What pushes a bright 17-year-old to jump to her death? Kriti is the 5th student to commit suicide in Kota this year. Last year, they were 19. The year before, 45. Why does Kota kill? Sarthak's final goodbye before the financial pressure choked the life out of him. Many like him scribble their prayers on temple walls, hoping someone will hear them. But Sarthak's story is not his alone.
मेरी मम्मी ने तो यानी कि होते हैं सोने चांदी उसको जमा कर दिए गिरवी में दे दिए उसके बाद मुझे यहाँ पे जाके
Kota, the country's largest coaching factory, where do or die is not a mere metaphor.
ये नहीं हुआ तो फिर क्या करोगे नेक्स्ट?
नहीं हुआ तो कुछ तो करेंगे ऐसा तो वापस तो घर तो नहीं जाएंगे कुछ तो जरूर करेंगे पढ़ रहे हैं कि
A breeding ground for excellence, where the fear of failure is greater than the fear of death.
So is it a physical
Anjali
institution?
had the courage to take her
Yeah.
own life,
Oh, okay. All right.
but
The
not
coaching
enough to
institute.
look her parents in the eye. It is this weight of expectation that drives Spurti to stay afloat.
So when you see everybody studying a lot, when you see everybody scoring this and that, so it builds up a pressure. It builds like, I want to get that. I want to get above her. I want to get above him. So that is the competitive feeling that comes.
But why is that a bad thing?
That is not a bad thing. But then for students who are at the top, it's very nice. They have a confidence. A student is preparing for 2 years or 3 years. For medicals, 4-5 years, repeaters are there. So 5 साल की मेहनत, they're checking it in 3 hours. They have a 3 hours paper, that's it. So nobody knows that that student has a proper state of mind in that 3 hours.
The coaching institutes of Kota can help a welder's son to crack the IITs. And they make a lot of noise about it. But what about the other 99.4%? No one speaks about them.
Those who are expected to have top 10 ranks all India are given a flat. They can call the faculty anytime, 24/7 they can call the faculty, ask doubts. The other students who are not able to reach that level, they have a feeling of inferiority complex. So that gives you depression.
That's a phenomenon, best in, best out, garbage in, garbage out. So even IITs are doing the same.
It's the survival of the fittest, or the survival of the coaching institute that has deep pockets and zero ethics.
Like one of my friends was studying in an institute, and he was like the topper, really good, and he has a good rank this year as well. So one of the institutes approaches the family, the student's family, with pay them money, a lot of money, to poach them to their institute so that the rank is published in their name.
The competition is so cutthroat that making friends, cell phones, and even celebrating birthdays is considered taboo.
आपको मालूम है आजकल कितना डिस्ट्रक्शन कलयुग है, कितना डिस्ट्रक्शन है। बहुत तरह के मॉल है, पिक्चर हॉल है, साइबर कैफ़े हैं, रेस्टोरेंट हैं, कई तरह की चीज़ें हैं, बाहर की और एक्टिविटी भी है। और ये बच्चे उम्र जो होती है इसमें चंचलता ज़्यादा होती, अच्छा मन तो हावी नहीं रहता, वो तो दबोक के कहीं खा रह जाता। बुरा मन जो कहता है ना, चल मस्ती करते हैं, पिक्चर देख के आते हैं, घूम के आते हैं, कहीं पिकनिक मनाते हैं, कहीं पार्टी कर लेते हैं।
Yep, they spend like 5 years
18-year-old
to prepare for the exam,
with no one to confide in.
for the 3-hour exam.
A minor disagreement with her roommate was enough to send her over the edge.
There's this girl. She is from say remote area. So she falls in love with a boy. Some intimacy is there, and the girl gets pregnant. So the boy says, "Okay, I cannot do anything," and the girl doesn't have anywhere to go. So the only thing she's just left with is committing a suicide.
Unable to adjust to Kota's culture shock, a distraught Lavi now needs counseling.
I like wearing shorts, skirts, dresses. तो यहाँ पे जो पॉपुलेशन है ज़्यादा वो आती है यूपी से, बिहार से, एमपी से, तो उस चीज़ में बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम आती है। पीपल दे जज यू।
सबसे पहले आपको वर्तमान में जीना पड़ेगा।
Jalandhar Singh, her counselor, was one of many hired by coaching institutes after the spate of student suicides in the last 2 years.
लोनलीनेस महसूस करते हैं बच्चे कई बार, या होम सिकनेस काफ़ी रहती है, और बच्चों के अंदर एक ऐसी प्रेशर, फैमिली प्रेशर भी काफ़ी रहता है माँ बाप का कि देखो हम इतना पैसा लगा रहे हैं, आपको कुछ ना कुछ करना है, या बच्चे कई बार कुछ एवरेज होते हैं, उस कारण होता है। और विशेषकर यहाँ रहने में उनमें भी काफ़ी दिक्कत है, जैसे पीजी वगैरह में भी काफ़ी प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं बच्चों को।
Understandably, the institutes have rested their defense on blaming the parents.
पेरेंट्स क्या करते हैं आजकल, थोड़ा एक्सपेक्टेशन ज़्यादा हो गया, बस एलन पे छोड़ दिया, कहीं भी छोड़ दिया, XYZ, अब वो जाने, ऐसा नहीं। क्योंकि सबसे ज़्यादा अच्छा मोटिवेशन घर से मिलता है। हम मोटिवेट करते हैं, लेकिन सबसे ज़्यादा नियरेस्ट कौन है? उनके पेरेंट्स। इससे पहले तो वहीं तो रहे, उनके संरक्षण में तो रहे। तो अगर वो पेरेंट्स से उनकी दूरी बढ़ जाएगी, या पेरेंट्स से बात करना कम कर देंगे, या बात करते बोलेंगे तेरे नंबर कम है से बात मत कर, तो बात खत्म हो जाएगी।
And there are a lot of institutes like these. The one I went to also charged a lot of money. They charge like
Fact is, Kota's
1 lakh rupees, that is
coaching industry
$1,500 for a year.
Typical Indian obsession with doctors and engineers,
I guess that's considered
and
a lot
catching
in
them
India.
young
Yeah.
is crucial to making big money.
आपका बच्चा कौन सी क्लास में है?
Class 8 में जाने वाला है।
तो वो आने को तैयार है, वो घर छोड़ने को तैयार है इतनी छोटी उम्र में?
तैयार है, वो भी तैयार है जाने आने के लिए।
Ranjan
So
doesn't
in
look
grade
very
8.
convinced for a government employee who's ready to pay 10 times his son's current school fees. Sending her 13-year-old away from home, his family, his school, his friends, entails a huge sacrifice that Ruby is reluctant to make.
थोड़ा मुश्किल होगा, लेकिन रहना तो पड़ेगा। बच्चा अच्छा बन जाए, उसके लिए कुछ तो आदमी को कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है।
oh my god.
Ruby's son will essentially go to what is called a dummy school. Renita enrolled in one in class 11.
There is a lot of pressure because right after your 10th standard, you're spending your next 2 years entirely for coaching. So everyone expects you to really perform well, more than the people who come for coaching after their schooling.
So what's at stake? For Surjeet, to open the first clinic in his village. For Spurti, her doctor father's reputation. For Lavi, her mother's unfulfilled dream to become a doctor. For Renita, the 2 years of schooling she skipped. Thousands come to Kota each year. Not all who come here make it. It's the inability to accept that reality is what kills.
Completely agree.
Okay, so there are a lot of things about this you have to explain to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so first question. This institution seems like it's full-time, Kota. Is it full-time or is it part-time, like after school?
So as she said, that what students do is they focus more on IIT preparation. So they skip school for grade 11 and 12. So they don't go to school. They get themselves enrolled to a dummy school, which just gives them credit for attendance and all that. And they just have to appear in the final exams in March for grade 11 and 12. And then just...
Okay, so they effectively skip grades 11 and 12 to prepare for the entrance exams.
Correct.
For ITT.
IIT.
IIT. Okay. What does that stand for again?
Indian Institute of Technology, and JEE means Joint Entrance Exam. So IIT JEE.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So what's the difference between Alan? Because there was one guy who was representing like a different institution. He was talking about how the parents need to take more responsibility.
Alan is a name of institute, and that's very popular in Chandigarh. I know that.
Okay, but it's the same idea.
Same idea. These institutes prepare you for IIT JEE exams.
Okay. And of the people who take the IIT IIT JEE exams, or is the last E is for exams, right?
Yeah.
Okay. IIT JEE. Of those people, only 0.06% pass?
See,
or get in.
Get in. Get into. I mean, so this is how it works.
So did it ever say what the pass rate is for the people who attend Kota?
It says for, I think it says for all over India. It just doesn't say for Kota. That percent was for all over India. For example, let's say 1.4 million people, 1.4 million students from India appeared in IIT JEE exams, and out of those, only 10,000 people.
Right. But it doesn't say what the pass rate is for Kota. Or do you need to attend a dummy school in order to even take the exam?
No, you don't have to. I mean, you can pretty much manage. If you can manage both school and coaching institute at the same time, then you can handle. See, there is always an overlap.
Did you take this exam?
Yeah.
How did you do?
I got 97 out of 360 and I failed. And my rank was...
97 out of 360?
Yeah, that was a score. But I mean, the rank was... Okay, so this is how it works. So the first test shortlists out of 1.4 million people, it shortlists 1.5 lakh. That's 150,000 people. So 1.4 million to 150,000 people. So I wasn't in 150,000 people. So I couldn't take the next exam. That was the advanced level JEE exam.
Okay.
So just because of 3 points, I couldn't do it. But I mean, this is how it works.
Yeah, let them know because it means nothing to me. So
yeah.
So tell the viewers.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So what are your thoughts about this? As someone, I mean, did you attend a dummy school?
No.
Okay.
I managed both because board exams were very important for me because I was preparing to come abroad, so that's why I needed a good high school GPA, as you must know.
Okay. Yeah, because when I said we have similar things here, like we have test prep courses, but it's nothing like this.
Do you leave at the age of 13 to prepare for them?
No,
right?
No.
Do you sacrifice family?
I misspoke in ignorance.
Yeah.
No, it's nothing like that. No, it's like an after school thing or it's like a part-time thing to help you prepare for exams, you know?
Yeah. Like, there's a huge difference.
It's completely different.
Yeah, they don't get to stay with their parents.
It's completely different.
At the age of 13. That's terrible. I've seen at my school...
That part of it was pretty shocking for me.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have boarding schools here, private boarding schools, but the idea that the entire culture is centered around test prep is like... Those boarding schools provide all kinds of courses that are not... For example, as you know, and as Singin' USA viewers know, the big college entrance exams here are the SAT and the ACT.
Mm-hmm.
But the content of those exams is mostly limited to quantitative reasoning and verbal reasoning.
Correct.
So there's no chemistry. It seemed like there was going to be chemistry.
Chemistry, physics, math. So this is the syllabus for IIT.
But there's no
English.
Well, yeah, okay. There's no Hindi. There's no verbal reasoning. There's no writing. There's none of that.
It's like
No wonder all these robots come here.
Yeah, it's-
No wonder there's so many robots in India. There's
That-
no emphasis at all on.
other things,
On
and that's
other
the reason
things.
I was good in physics, chemistry, math, and that's how I got
That's
A
why you
grades.
know absolutely no history at all. Wow. Except you didn't go to one of these schools, but that's okay.
Okay.
All right. So, what are your thoughts about this? What do you think?
I think it is terrible. Even in Punjab, this is what happens. I mean, it's not as terrible as in Kota because they sacrifice their family. But in Punjab, this is what happens. They start coaching institute like Fiji, etc. They go to those coaching institutes starting 8th grade, and they go to as a part-time thing. They don't like sacrifice family at the age of 13.
Yeah.
They do it as a part-time thing. That's okay. I'm okay with that. If the child is okay with it, then it's fine. But I think you're forcing them a lot. I personally did not attend any coaching institute till grade 10. I still got a good GPA in grade 10. And even after then, I performed well in my grade 11 just by going to school. I was attending coaching institute at the same time. But after managing both, I got like 80% in grade 11. And without any tuition, I got 93% without excluding English and 89% including English in grade 12. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean that's not really what we're not really talking about your accomplishments here, though.
The point I'm trying to make.
What is the point? What is the point you're trying to make?
The point I'm trying to make is just like in US, if a student doesn't want to attend any coaching institute, he can still perform well just by going to school and get a good grade in get good grades. I don't think coaching institute are that important if you can like do the hard work on your own. And because you waste a lot of time going there, students should not sacrifice that much because everything is available on YouTube these days.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's very hard for me to evaluate as a foreigner. You know what I mean? And also as someone who admittedly comes from a position of some socioeconomic privilege here in the United States. It's like even at the lowest ranks of my class, like my segment of American society, it's like, you know, you're more or less okay. You know, it's not like you're living in a village and there's poop in the streets and stuff like that. So it's impossible for me to fully understand. But what I can equate it to is sort of the type of parenting here in the States that tries to get kids into Ivy League schools from a very young age, which is like the most prestigious universities in the United States. Yale, Harvard, Brown, Columbia, those kinds of schools. But you know what? Even that seems pretty mild compared to what I just heard. Like, like even the parents who insist on getting their kids into the best public schools or move to specific locations to have their kids go to the best public schools and pay ridiculous taxes or put their kids in private schools, the lifestyle just seems totally different. I mean, it's nothing like this.
Correct.
You know, even to get into the best institutions in the United States, which is, from what I've heard, you know, that's pretty good. I mean, that's like the best in the world.
Correct.
There's nothing. So what is the perception, I guess, what is the perception in India in terms of which is the more valuable experience? Like, would it be better to go to Ivy League in America or IIT?
If they can afford to go to Ivy League in America, they will definitely
Like,
choose.
but what is the perception of like which is the better institution?
Of course, Ivy League. I also made a video on IIT versus studying in America, and most of people thought that it's worth going to America rather than IITs.
I'm sorry, I didn't watch that one.
Okay.
I didn't watch that one.
Okay, yeah.
Something to watch. I don't know. I think in general, I understand the desire to have your child do better than you. You know, and I understand that to a certain degree, parents are. You know, I assume that there isn't a uniform state of mind that goes into this kind of a decision. I assume some parents want what's best for their children, and then other parents want secretly what's best for them, and they're just willing to sacrifice their children for their own personal ambitions. And, you know, obviously that's sick and that's twisted, but it's not like I can't understand it at all. You know, I definitely fundamentally disagree with it, but most of the disagreement is based on the principle that individuals should be free to live their own lives, even if they're children. You know, it's like, and it seems like their childhoods are basically being stolen from them for the sake of their parents' aspirations, which is fine. I think in moderation, like to a small degree, I think that's fine. I mean, that's basically what school is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even here in America, that's basically what school is. But
Mhm.
to this degree, seems really sick. Seems really twisted. I understand the desire to escape poverty to the best of my ability, but I don't know. It seems wrong. It definitely, the way this is portraying it, it definitely seems deeply, deeply wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They put a lot of pressure. That's why they're committing suicide, and they think that that if they want to become successful, then IIT is the only option. But that's wrong. They should think of other alternatives and backup plans.
Yeah, that part of it's difficult for me to understand, like what opportunities are available. So it's, you know, I can't judge it from that perspective. But if you're saying it, then yeah, I guess it's fine.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Like if this was America, you know, there are many immigrant families, especially Indians, are famous for this. Like want their kids to grow up to be doctors, even here in America, you know, and I'm sure a lot of them are under enormous pressure. I see kids in the library here studying biology all the time. I can only imagine how many of them are in that same situation. And I assume you also, like your life is probably to some extent
Yeah.
based on this, but it's not to be a doctor, it's to be a computer scientist. So, you know, I don't really know what that's like. I never experienced that. I was basically allowed to choose whatever I wanted. So, you know, it's I think the risk there is that not everybody is cut out to be a doctor.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like if you grew up and you were a dirt farmer or a peasant,
Mhm.
and you mortgage all your gold and jewelry to make sure that your child becomes a doctor, that seems, first of all, it seems like a huge risk. I mean, it just doesn't seem like a very smart play in general. Maybe 2 generations or 3 generations, you know, you could accomplish something like that. But to go from being a peasant, blue collar, lower class to upper class in a single generation is extremely hard. Especially if the entire approach is based on that child succeeding independently. That's not really, I don't think, the best approach. See, like my wife and I are kind of trying to do something similar. I mean, she grew up middle class for China, which is at that time was a third world country. I grew up middle class in America back when that existed, and we're trying to move into the upper class. But that's like, you know, one step. That's one step, and that I think that's conceivable in a single generation. But don't be impatient. You know, it's like you're sacrificing your child's life basically
That's too much.
for your own ambition. Yeah, I think it's too much. I think it's deeply. I think it's very impatient, misguided, and very risky. And also, I don't know. It's like don't you also love your child to some degree? I mean,
True. Yep.
I mean, you just want them to be like a machine, like a robot that you just put money into, you know, and just give something back to you. It seems very misguided. Yeah, It's hard to watch.
Yeah.
Hard to watch.
Cool. So that's pretty much it for today, and we will request all of those parents to give their kids more backup options so that they can be less stressful. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Namaste.
Goodbye.
Are we gonna do synopsis on this one?
Oh, I already know.
I look beautiful today.
I already know that.
Why do I look so good today? It's because I've been doing chest.
I already.
How's my chest look?
Last year, they were 19.
Okay, I already know the synopsis.
How's my chest look? Pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, you need to be taller.
Needs work. It's not bigger than Harnor's head, therefore it needs work. Alright. I need to be taller? What are you talking about? I'm taller than you.
You're fine. Oh, never mind. When you were showing your biceps, it seemed like that. Okay.
I just seem shorter because my biceps are so big.
Yeah, okay. Namaste.